DA stated that the party's High Court challenge to the Parliament's decision to appoint impeached judge and MK Party leader John Hlophe to the Judicial Service Commission, JSC, is a defense of constitutional democracy. The DA, alongside other organizations such as Corruption Watch, seeks to block Hlophe's appointment, arguing that his history of misconduct undermines judicial integrity and public trust. While acknowledging the right of parties to nominate JSC members, DA emphasized that figures in such critical roles must be beyond reproach. The MK Party dismissed the case as a frivolous challenge by right-wing and racist organizations, arguing that it was an attempt to distract them from their political agenda and that DA was misusing the courts for harassment. This video summarizes the court proceedings that happened yesterday regarding this case. We aim to give you a better understanding and an overview of what was being argued in the courts. To know more about this case, stay tuned. Welcome back to the Fraud News channel. I'm your host, Boss Robert. To those who have already subscribed to the Fraud News channel, thank you very, very much. And to those who haven't, please show your brother some love. Click subscribe. Back to the story. In the case involving Judge Hlophe's appointment to the JSC, several parties, including the MK Party, the DA, ATM, and Corruption Watch, presented distinct arguments in the Western Cape High Court. We shall discuss the heads of argument for each of the aforementioned parties. And then afterwards, we will also discuss the merits of the case. So we shall start with DA. DA heads of arguments rest on three main points, which are number 1, constitutionality and judicial integrity. Number 2, public confidence. And number 3, legal precedent. Constitutionality and judicial integrity. The DA argues that Judge Hlophe's appointment to the JSC is unconstitutional, undermining the independence and integrity of the judiciary. DA emphasizes the necessity of judges of the JSC to be fit and proper, which they argue Judge Hlophe is not, given his impeachment for attempting to influence constitutional court judges. Public confidence. The DA also contends that Hlophe's presence on the JSC would erode public confidence in the judiciary as it creates a serious conflict of interest. Legal precedence. DA asserts that Parliament has the responsibility to vet nominations to the JSC, and that failure to do so properly is against the principle of legality and public interest. ATM heads of argument are based on three main points. Number 1, Parliament's discretion. Number 2, rule of law. And number 3, irrelevance of Hlophe's past. Parliament's discretion. ATM defends Hlophe's appointment, arguing that the National Assembly's decision should be respected as a political decision, emphasizing the autonomy of Parliament. They suggest that the court should not interfere with the nomination, as it is within the National Assembly's power to designate its members to the JSC. Rule of law. ATM frames its argument around the protection of the rule of law, asserting that the judicial review of parliamentary decisions on appointment is not appropriate, as it may infringe on the separation of powers. Irrelevance of Hlophe's past. ATM argues that Hlophe's past conduct as a judge is irrelevant to his current position as a member of parliament. Once elected to the National Assembly, his rights and duties as an MP should not be affected by his previous judicial conduct. Corruption Watch. Corruption Watch Heads of Arguments was founded on 3 main points. Number 1, standing and public interest. Number 2, judicial integrity and public harm. And number 3, risk of irreparable harm, standing and public interest. Corruption Watch assessed that it has a standing to challenge Hlophe's appointment based on public interest litigation under Section 38 of the Constitution. Their mandate includes promoting transparency, integrity, and accountability, which they argue is compromised by Hlophe's appointment, judicial integrity, and public harm. Corruption Watch argues that Hlophe's participation in the JSC, particularly in judicial interviews, would severely undermine the dignity of the Commission and public confidence in its processes. They highlight that Hlophe's misconduct as a judge, for which he remains unrepentant, makes him unfit to serve on the JSC. Risk of irreparable harm. Corruption Watch argues that allowing Hlophe's appointment to the JSC proceedings could cause irreparable harm, as any decision made with his involvement may lack legality if his appointment is later set aside. MK Party. MK Party Heads of Argument was based on 2 main points. Number 1, legal right and party autonomy. And number 2, oath of office. Legal right and party autonomy. The MK Party supports Hlophe's appointment, claiming that as a member of parliament, he has the legal right to be nominated to the JSC. They argue that there are no specific legal prohibitions against his appointment, and party autonomy in making nominations should be respected. Oath of office. MK Party asserts that Hlophe's current oath as an MP binds him to uphold the Constitution, and that his prior misconduct as a judge does not disqualify him from serving in his parliamentary role. Having outlined the heads of argument, we shall discuss the merits of the case. The case pivots on constitutional question of whether an impeached judge can serve on the JSC, particularly when public interest in judiciary is at stake. The DA and Corruption Watch focus on the integrity and independence of the judiciary, while the ATM and MK Party defend Parliament's discretion in making political appointments, emphasizing the separation of powers and Hlophe's right as an MP. The court will need to balance the constitutional principles with procedural fairness and public interest. This is a groundbreaking case and will test the strength of South African legal framework. Let me know of your thoughts in the comment section below. If you have enjoyed the video, please drop a like. And if you have not yet subscribed to the Fraud News channel, please show your brother some love. Click subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video. God bless you.